Hi everybody, it's Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I am here today with my granddaughter, Ashelyn. Hi, Ashelyn.
Hi.
That's all, just a little hi? How old are you, Ash?
10.
Ash is 10, and how old do you think you are? Do you think you're only 10? I'd say she's much older than that. Anyway, Ashelyn wanted to make a skirt today, just a simple, easy skirt, so we thought we'd show you how easy and how quick that is. Now, I wanted to go over real quick. When I start my grandchildren sewing, they are generally around 9 or 10, and we sew on this lined paper, and I make sure that they can sew on the paper and stay on the lines. Then I know that they have the dexterity to hang on to that fabric and make it work. Now, you can sew with thread or without. We've done it both, but they have to pass the sewing test first, and Ashelyn has already passed that test. So to make this project, what you're going to need is fabric that you love, and you want it to be the length you want your skirt plus about 5 inches. Let's just say 5 randomly. So we have a measuring tape here. We're going to measure, and then we have a little bit of elastic for the waist. So basically what Ashelyn is doing here is she's designing her own clothing. She gets to decide the length it is. She gets to decide how gathered it is. If she wants it really gathered or loosely gathered, you get to decide all that. And that's really fun. I think when kids start sewing, it's fun to know they can make some of the clothes they want to wear. So are you excited?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Ashelyn has a little blog of her own that she does every once in a while. What's the name of that, Ash?
Down Gang.
The Doan Gang. And we can actually put a link on our page. Would you like people to go see it?
Yes.
All right. She's a funny girl. She's a funny girl and busy. All right. So let's measure you. So stand up on this stool right here. And we're going to measure from your waist right here. Now, one more step up. Right here. From your waist. Right here is about where you wear your skirt, right? Or down here?
Yeah.
And then how long do you want it to be? Do you want it to be at your knee? Do you want it long, or where do you think you want it?
Right here.
Right here. All right, let's see how long that is.
Actually, to my knee, yeah.
To your knee? All right, so that's 16 inches. We're going to need an inch for the hem, so that's 17 inches. And then we're going to need 2 inches for the top, so that's 19 inches, okay?
Okay.
So that what we're going to do is our fabric right here, it was cut and folded, and we're just going to leave it folded because that's the easiest way. And we're going to measure 19 inches, all right? So that means we have this little bit of extra here, and we're going to cut that off, and I'll do that for you. It takes a lot of practice for me to get comfortable with my kids using a rotary cutter because it's so sharp. It can be so dangerous. All right, so now I'm going to lay this on here, and I'm going to slide this out. And I'm just going to trim off this little piece right here. Now we need to know, how fluffy do you want your skirt? Do you want it super fluffy? The max fluff?
Medium. Medium
fluffy. All right, so right now what we have to do is we have to see if this is going to go around you. And this is half, so the half part will measure to your sides. So if we put this in, do you think this is going to be enough fluff, just this little bit right here?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be all right. So we want to cut off this selvage because we would not want that to appear in your back seam. Mm-hmm. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do some ironing. So touch the iron to make sure it's all warmed up. Hang on. There we go. So touch the iron over there. We have our kids love our iron because when they touch it, it goes right down. It's kind of a magic iron. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take this and we are going to iron the hem for the bottom and the hem for the top, okay?
Okay.
All right. So for the bottom, we want it to be, it can be a nice little, we can roll it up 1/4 inch and another 1/4 inch. Like that, and that can be a great hem. When you iron it, you don't actually have to pin it too much. So first what we're going to do is we're going to go along here and we're going to do this 1/4 inch like this, and we're going to do that first little turn first, and I'm going to, watch your fingers, I'm going to get this started. The starting part is the hard part, and then see, just like that. See how that looks right there? We're just ironing it up a little bit, and then we're going to turn that and do it again, but we're going to do the whole thing one ironing first. All right, so here it is. So turn this over, and then what you want to do, what I like to do is kind of finger press it so it lays down. Then take the iron and just set it right on top of there. And then go ahead and lift it up. There we go. All right, now let go. There we go. All right, so now I'll slide this over, and we'll turn this again. Now be really careful using the iron because you could get burnt, couldn't you? I mean, this is, you can feel the heat, can't you? All right, so let me come over here, and I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to scoot this out of the way. We're going to need that later. And I'm just going to kind of iron on here like this, and then I'm just going to scoot this over, and then help me fold this up. And you'll get used to about how big you want that little part to be. And we're just gonna iron this down right here. And you can go right along there, but you want to stay on your mat. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually do this one more time.
Okay.
And so we're just going to use this as our guide, and we'll fold it up right above it, just like that. And I'll start it here. Just like this, going along there. And then we're going to scoot this over, and then I'll start it, and then I'll let you do this next part, okay?
Okay.
All right, so go ahead. You're doing great. You know, knowing how to use an iron and being a good ironer is a huge part of being a good seamstress. All right, so now we're going to flip this up again, and you can come right back along that edge. There you go. Perfect. All right, one more. This little end. Did you see how she waited so she wouldn't burn my fingers? Thank you very much. All right, so this is the bottom of our skirt. This is the top. Into the top, we want the edges to be finished, and we also are going to put elastic in there.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to roll one of these up like this and iron that down. And I'm going to finger press that, and I'll let you do the ironing. So go ahead, and you want to make sure that stays over. There we go. All right, we'll move it over. Lift it up, and we'll scoot this down. And I'm going to just turn this edge up right there. Okay, go ahead. Press that. All righty. One more. Oh, we can go almost to we can go to the whole end. All right, let's finger press, finger press, finger press. All right, there you go. Alrighty. Now what we want to do is we want to make what they call a casing. And a casing is made by sewing a tube. So we're going to lower it over like this, and that'll be a place where we can slide our elastic in there. So that's what the casing is. So we really want to measure this. We want this to be the same all the way around. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if you can find a pencil or a pen in this little drawer right here. And we want to turn this. We want about 1 inch casing. This is like 1.5 inches maybe. So let me see how wide this is. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so I am coming down 2.5 inches, and I'm going to make a mark right here from my very top edge, like this. All right, that didn't actually mark, did it? Let's see if we can get this pen to work. Oh, a little bit. Let's see if it'll work.
There's another one in here.
There is another one. It's working now, I think. There we go. All right, so we're just going to slide this along here, and I'm going to slide it and let you draw the line. So I'm going to turn this long ways, and we'll keep this right here and just draw a line right across the top of that. This gives us a line to fold to, so we know exactly where our fabric has to fold to. And we're going to go all the way along here and do this. Am I getting too high up for you? Perfect. All right, one more. There we go. Oh. Now this doesn't have to be exact, but we want it to be pretty close. All right, so we can see our line right here, right? We're going to fold the fabric to here, and let's put a pin in there so that this stays folded down. All right, I'm going to give you these pins, and we're just going to put a pin about every few inches, so that we can, because we're going to press this as well.
Should I put one here?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So line it up. Look where your line is. Line the edge of your fabric along the line. So just like this. That's going to go right there. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now you can start ironing. Now, you don't want to iron over a pin either, because like these pins right here, they have little plastic heads and they will melt. So you want to take that out before you get to it, but we want to make sure this is going to lay nice and flat. So let's go ahead and get the iron, and we'll iron that. And I will try to grab these pins. If you'll go nice and slow. There we go. And I'll just grab this one. And I'll grab this one. And we'll slide this over. Does your mom know you can iron?
Mm-hmm.
She does. Do you iron anything at home?
My clothes.
Do you? That's awesome. So do you know who irons at Grandpa's house?
You?
No, Grandpa does the ironing. I don't have any clothes that need to be ironed, so he irons his shirts on Sunday morning. Grandpa irons his own shirts.
Oh.
Isn't that fun? Your grandpa is a great ironer.
Does he iron if you're sewing?
Oh, yes, he does that too. Like when I'm making a quilt, he does iron. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to sew the back together. And when we sew the back together, we're going to open all these up again. And we're going to lay them right sides together like this. And we're going to sew this seam. Now, the reason we do that is because when we sew the seam together, it's going to lay down and it's already going to be folded, and we won't have to do it, but there won't be any open seams. That's why we iron it first and then sew it. So I'm going to put a pin in here so that you can sew right along this edge. And in clothing, you know, in clothing they sew on the patterns. If you were to use a pattern, you would sew a 5/8" seam. But if you're just doing it like this, you can do it any size seam you want. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do it, we are going to do it for a, like about a 1/2" seam, I think, which is just, that's 4/8. So it's just a little bit smaller. And it looks like my fabric is a little off here. So I need to find out where my gap is so that I can fix that. Like maybe I didn't cut it straight or something. So I'm going to slide these up here like this. And there it goes. All right, we're good. All right, so come over here to the sewing machine. Now, are you a fast sewer or a slow sewer or a medium sewer?
Medium.
All right, you're a medium sewer. All right, so we're going to line this foot up right along the edge. And we're going to let you start sewing. And put your, yeah, there you go. Find that pedal. Good job, good job. All right, stop. And we'll take that pin out. There you go. Perfect. Oh, you got it? Keep it right along the edge. All right, you're doing great, sis. All right, stop. Let's make sure this is nice and straight. Take the pin out. All right, there we go. And we're just going to sew right off the end, right off. There we go. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew our hems down. And this hem has been folded twice, remember? And I'm just going to repress this seam right here so it lays nice and flat. We're going to sew the hem, so get back up on that chair because you're going to sew still. Oh, did that come off? Let me help you. There we go. We want everybody to be able to hear you. You think this is fun? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so what we're going to do here, what matters here is right here, we want our stitch to be close to this edge. So some machines have a feature where you can move the needle and some don't. What I'm going to teach you to do, because you never know what kind of sewing machine you're going to have to sew on. So what I do is I use my presser foot. So my presser foot, the fabric is coming right on the inside of this silver toe. See this? I call this a toe right here. And we are going to just sew right along there. Let this toe be the guide. So you're going to, basically you're going to sew a circle. You know, you're going to go all the way around it. Go ahead and sew on there. There you go. You're doing good. All right, now slow down and let's pull this out like this. Always keep the body of your work in front of you. There you go. All right, try to keep your hands up close by it. All right, now slow down and stop and let's, pull that out. What do we got under here that's rolling around under here? Let me find that. Oh, our pen cap. There we go. All right, pull that around. And then what's going to happen is eventually you're going to get back to where you started, and then we are going to sew that again. So go ahead and start up. There we go. I'm going to slide some more out here so you can just keep sewing. All right, let's stop. Let's roll this out here like this. And see, you're almost to where you started, exactly there. And so it's a, we'll just, when we get there, we'll backstitch, okay? Because we don't want that to come out. We want this hem to stay in. Careful, careful. There you go. Ashlyn, you're doing so good. All right, now stop right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew over it, and then we're going to sew back. And just make sure that we have we've locked our stitches and they won't come out. So then we're going to pull this off, and this is our little cutter right here. And now we get to do the same thing, but we're going to do it up at the waist. All right? Okay. Now what we're going to do here, just like we did, so you want to watch this seam because you want it going the same way. Do you need to fix that? There you go. And then we're going to pin this down. And I'm going to go ahead and, even though we've ironed this and it should stay down pretty good, what do you think? Do you think it'll stay down okay, or do you think we need some pins?
I think it'll stay down.
Yeah, you're a girl after your grandma's heart, aren't you? I'm not much of a pinner myself. All right, so we're going to start here again. We've ironed that down so it should stay. Make sure your seam is laying the same direction. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start right here on right where the seam comes together right there. And we're going to want to stitch like right along this edge, okay? All right, so go ahead and give it a go. I think this girl's going to need a massage when she's done. She's very tense. All right, stop. And we'll get some more of this out there. Hang on a little bit more. There you go. I'll give you a little massage up there. Now, you've sewn some things before, haven't you?
Yeah.
You're pretty good at this stuff. All right, now stop. See, when it starts getting kind of a little bunchy like that, then you want to pull that. All right, now stop. Now again, we're going to back stitch. Now this has an automatic back stitch, so if you push this, it's going to sew. So you want to be ready to push it and to push it again to stop it. So go ahead and give it a little push. Hold on it. There we go. Now let go. Now this one, push goes forward.
Push it or hold?
Push it, and then let go. Push it again. Whew, good job. All right, now that means that casing is closed and it's not going anywhere. We're going to lift our needle up, and then we're going to trim those threads. Now, we've sewn this completely closed. So what we want to do now is we want to carefully take out a few stitches so that we can slide it in here. So right here, I want to show you this. And there's lots of ways to do this, but this I think is just the easiest way. So we're just going to take out those little stitches right there, just like that. And then we have an opening to put our elastic in. Now, one of the things I didn't think of before is that we're going to need a safety pin. So we're going to measure your waist for the elastic. This is how elastic comes. It comes like this. This is a 1/2 inch. You could use 3/4, whatever size you want. You know, sometimes you could make a really wide waist, you know. So if you wanted a really wide waist, you could use wide elastic. We're just using this little bit right here. And we are going to, can you go over there and grab a safety pin? And I'll wait for you because we're going to measure this. All right, perfect. All right, now get up on that stool right there, girl. This is the biggest safety pin you could find, really, this teeny tiny little. A big safety pin helps, but that will work. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to measure your waist, and you're going to say if that's tight enough, too tight, you want it tighter.
I think it's tight enough.
You think it's good? All right. We'll let it go, and we're just going to cut this off. And we're going to use the short piece for your waist, because this piece is way too big for your little waist. All right, so now we're going to put the safety pin, we're going to pin it on here like this. And this is just an easy way to move something through a casing. And what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you, and then I'll let you do this. We're going to slide this a little bit like this, and we're just going to, I have my thumb on that pin, and I'm pushing the fabric over the top like this. Just pushing it and holding it with my back finger, and then I'm going to slide this so it goes in like that, okay? And we're just going to keep doing this all the way around. Do you want to turn? And what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to take this loose end, and if you'll scoot your hand a little bit, I'm going to put a pin in here so that it doesn't suck it all the way in, and we have to start over. So we're going to go right here and just hold that. All right. So now you're just working with this little pin up here. You don't have to do it back here. Put both hands up here like this, and you're just pushing the fabric onto the pin. Yeah, so hold the pin here, and then push that fabric on there. Let me show you. So we're going to hold the pin like this, and then I have this finger just stays holding it, and then I'm going to push this on here like this, and then I hold it down with my other finger so it won't slide off. Push and push and push like this, and I just keep holding it. See how this finger keeps grabbing whatever I slide up on there? And then we put that in. There are other tools that make this a little bit easier, but I've been sewing since I was younger than you. Actually, I started, I think I was around 10. And I started doing it. So it's easy for me to do, but it's hard when you're beginning. So just hold on to that. Push that on there. There you go. You got it. You got it. Hold it with your fingers, and then keep these fingers. When you have enough, then hold those fingers on the head of your pin and let the fabric slide off this side. There you go. And then grab your pin back here and keep doing it. Alrighty, now hold on to, you hold it from this side, you trade hands, and then this side slides off. I'm going to do some of this for you because this is kind of a hard technique to learn. And I'm just going to slide this through here. So basically I'm holding with my finger. Every time I push a gather, I hold it. Then I switch hands and I grab it with this and then I pull this fabric off of here. Just like that. You want to try that again?
Okay.
Sometimes I'm, it takes a few explainings to get it. So Ashlyn, you've got us all the way down here to the end of this elastic, and I'm going to let this loose, but I still don't want it to slide in, so I want you to hold on to that.
Okay.
And just hold on to that, and then I'm going to slide this down here until we get to this edge of this fabric, and then I'm going to push the pin out so it pops its head out just like that. There you go. And then don't let go. Don't let go. That'll slide in. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to pull this up here and put these together, and we're going to sew across these now so that just like back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, so it doesn't come out, because this is what's going to keep your skirt from falling to the ground when you're at the grocery store. All right, so let's put our threads behind, and let's put this here, and we're going to set the presser foot down on there, and the presser foot will hold it because it's so small. So go forward and just real slow. There you go. And then we're going to go back. Now you go forward. Oh, now let's go back. And forward one more time. There we go. And that's just because we don't want it to come undone. So we sew it a bunch of times. Think that's a good idea?
Because I don't want it to fall off at the grocery store.
That's right. You don't want it to fall off. All right. So now we're just going to slide this in here. Just like this. See it pop in there?
Uh-huh.
And so then we're going to even up these gathers like this. We're just going to even them up. And then your skirt is finished just like that. Look at that. How cute is that?
That's cute.
We should iron it a little bit, and then I want you to try it on. So I'm just going to iron out. This is the natural seam right here from the fabric where it was folded on the bolt. So I'm going to take that seam out, and then I'm going to press this seam as well. And then, here, why don't you try that on? Just step into it. Put your seam in the back. This is going to be so cute. Go ahead, go ahead. All right, climb up on this stool so everybody can see. All right, you guys, take a look at this. Perfect little skirt. She can tuck it in. She can wear her shirt out. And she has just made herself a new outfit just today. Isn't that cool?
Uh-huh.
So it was really fun to have you here today, Ashlyn.
Thank you.
Did you have a good time?
Uh-huh.
And now you can make any skirt you want to make, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how are we going to close this? Think you can do it?
Yeah.
All right, then.
I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy skirt tutorial from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.
Yes. We'll see you guys later.